My name's Jack Prest. My life is a Future Love Hangover. I'm a music producer and a multimedia artist based in Sydney. So basically, as far as I can figure out, I came back from the future just to make new ideas, really. I kind of feel that there's a bit of a cultural cul-de-sac at the moment. Like, postmodernism, as great as it was and as amazing, and all the great art that it produced, has kind of left us in this position where people believe that there's no new ideas, which I kind of feel is ridiculous, really. It's the second decade of the 21st century. It's time to really, really push for originality, In that sense, I kind of come up with this idea, the fact that maybe I'm not an artist, but I'm an imaginist, which I'd basically define as someone who only creates new things, only imagines things, creates things that have their own context, not that are built inside the context of something else. When I finished my album, I was kind of like, well, what do I do with it now? I'm an independent artist. I can either shop it to record labels who are probably not going to really understand my music or my concepts, or I can put it out myself. And what I really wanted to do was make the release process a creative process. So in doing so, I came up with this new album format. It's called an exposure. It's basically like a cube of images and video which you can manipulate and kind of play with, and that's basically the album art, and then essentially the album streams in full behind it. Now, the idea here is that you can't actually skip the playback on the album. You can pause it, but you have to listen to it from start to finish. So you actually have to dedicate time and listen to the album. I guess what I was trying to do with that was, in a way, reinvigorate the album as a feeling as much as a format, and trying to capture that feeling of like getting a vinyl or getting a CD for the first time and putting it in and sitting down and actually listening to it, which I think is something that's in danger of being lost. Vinyl culture is still really healthy and there's still people doing that, but on the whole, there's a generation of people coming up who just have no connection to analog, So I wanted to try and create a digital format that really kind of grabbed what it was about digital that was interesting, but that gave you that same experience and that same feeling of enrichment that you get from listening to an album from start to finish. And the thing that I offer you for listening to the whole album is that you can actually download it at the end. This whole project is really down to sort of Zen creative flow, where I just really had ideas and set them free, which I think is the biggest struggle for me as an artist, and for any artist, is realizing that you don't actually own any of your ideas, and that the best thing to do with them is to give them to someone else.